Hey students, and welcome to this short video about the social media content calendar. Even though if you Google social media calendars, you're gonna find a lot of content, valuable content, content ideas related to that. There is not the best way to develop a calendar. It depends on a whole lot of factors and what you agree, especially with your team. So because I don't want you to be overwhelmed with what's out there, I decided to share a couple of slides with you. So, the first thing is what are the advantages or what are the benefits of creating a social media calendar? Well, it helps you organize your content, it helps you organize and save time when it comes to team responsibilities and who's accountable for what, because the alternative is to post as you go. And today there are so many platforms like Hootsuite and HubSpot which allow you to plan and to post and schedule ahead of time, so you don't have to do it manually every single day you want to post. So it kind of I think it also lets you know that you need to create or think ahead when it comes to content creation, kind of painting the big picture of your campaigns, the overall and the specific campaigns. And so it helps you, be accountable for time, assigned duties to the rest of the team, and have one place in which you all can input your thoughts and contribute, make revisions, go into as much detail as you deem. It allows you to be or to post consistently, and this is more kind of taking on the first idea because you're more organized. You can visualize how consistent your audience is going to see you posting on social media, which in turn it's good to create that consistency when people know that you share frequently. Again, there is no rule of thumb as to how frequently or what date and time you should post on social media. It's a trial and error. It doesn't work the same way for all industries, but having a calendar at least can help you have a bird's eye view of how consistent or how frequent you are posting a particular type of content. You can divide the post by the different campaigns or content topics, and so you can identify where are the opportunities there to be more consistent in the eyes of the audience. The content calendars also, and I'm going to show you some tools on the next page, on the next couple of pages. They help you organize content according to holidays and events. And when I say events, I mean kind of the trending topic hashtags that you see. And it doesn't mean that you're going to post for every single day of a trending hashtag just because. You need to find out if it's relevant to your industry, to your product, or your service. But that you can also input in the content calendar, and you decide when your brand is going to jump in and participate in a particular holiday or events. Holidays like Mother's Day may sound reasonable, or Christmas for almost every brand, but it's just a matter of strategy, which is something else. But you definitely should include these relevant dates in as part of your calendar, because there are platforms like Hootsuite and HubSpot that allow you to schedule your posts with some time in advance. The good thing is these platforms also provide you with tools that you can use to track the performance of your post and see where you need to fine tune and what changes do you need to make working ahead in the calendar, because you can see the performance in the analytics section almost in real time. Also a content calendar, because there is usually a team of people contributing. Another person may catch up maybe a typo or a mistake. You don't publish content until you have a go ahead from your client, but because you're organizing everything in one place, it will help you avoid some of the mistakes. So yeah, I mean, you can schedule with time in advance. You can stick to a regular schedule. They also provide a framework from which you can work on every single week, where you can post your or programs your post in advance. And again, we're going to go into some of the best practices for creating a content calendar now. So how do you create one? Where do you start? Well, the first thing you need to have clear is one, which are your social media channels, whether you want to include revisions and content for your blog posts and changes to the website too. I mean, that is doable. You can have like a separate sheet for that, but you need to first ask yourself, how many platforms am I gonna manage? And then once you have that and you say I'm gonna post on Twitter and on Facebook, then you should ideally determine a content mix. And then this, you go back to the curated versus created content. What percentage of the content is going to be curated and created? You can even identify which posts you want to boost, which areas are possible for paid advertising, which of your content is going to be user generated content. So it gives you the opportunity to um, pick up these components, see what structure you want to give your calendar, and then create that structure and say, okay, I'm going to use what platform? Well, Google Sheets is an excellent platform for me. And it has an unlimited amount of rows and columns. So you should meet with your team and identify which areas you want to include on those calendars, making sure that everyone is on board and everyone can work together seamlessly, without a lot of follow up. So it should be like pretty straightforward. And then you can Google social media calendar templates. I'm gonna show you a couple of ideas from HubSpot here that again are very straightforward. But as you can see in the Google Calendar that we have been working on, we have added some columns. It depends on how you want to work with your team and also with your client, whether your client is going to be able to make the changes on the calendar or you want the client to make the comments by email. It depends on what your group decision. And then you choose the template, and before you implement, again, as I said, just make sure you get the feedback from the team. So the first thing that you want to do is have like a monthly overview, and here you can identify with the color codes which content is related to holidays, which content is related to different campaigns. So it should give you like a visual overall picture of what you're going to see in the upcoming sheets, and see how your campaign or your campaigns would look prospectively in 1 month. And then you definitely, I recommend you do one sheet per platform. This is an example of a sheet for Twitter where you can put like the which day of the week, the date, the time you want to post, what is the message caption, whether you're going to include a link, and of course you want to identify which campaign you are running. And if you are including an image and you want to include a link to the image, you should definitely keep all your resources in this place. And then, of course, the character count, which is relevant to Twitter. It might not be relevant to Facebook, but there's a limit there. And here you can make sure that before you schedule a post, you are meeting the Twitter requirements as far as that goes. So this is an example for Facebook. And then the first couple of columns are basically the same, and you can include again the link and the image post, and you can go as far as you want when it comes adding additional content. There, I've seen most calendars also include who's accountable for what and by which date, and that helps the team also be and maintain organized without a lot of follow up. And here's the last slide that I wanted to show you, and it's related to the events and the holidays and the key events that you can include as part of your strategy. Again, if it makes sense, for your brand or your organization. This particular image that I am sharing here, you can Google social media key dates or holidays for 2022, and you will see a lot of search results. One is this one particularly is from Hootsuite, but there's also a list from HubSpot, also divided by month. So you see, I have there's January social media holidays. I'm only including three of them, and then you can think if your client, if their client that you're managing right now, if it makes sense to post for the National Trivia Day, if it makes sense for the National Hat Day and the National Bagel Day. Maybe yes, maybe just one of them, and that will give you an idea to see if you could create a couple or maybe one post related to that, and which way you're going to take regarding the specific content idea. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you about content calendars. Of course, you can reach out if you have any questions, and I wish you a pleasant rest of the day or morning or night.